literally sit back, relax, take a deep breath. We're inviting you to feel free to feel free. Breaking Into is next.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Lives. Breaking Into.
One of my favorite songs.
This is one of yours.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. Doing a little Rumi for you with Demi Moore and Deepak Chopra. That's good. It came out probably like 2 years ago. Demi Moore has a great voice. Welcome to Breaking Into. I'm your host, Shameless Lott Jr., giving you a little Deepak Chopra and Demi Moore. You can find us called The Gift of Love. A bunch of artists got together and read Rumi poems. Madonna's one. There's a bunch of people who did it. It's a great album. It came out maybe like 20 years ago, something like that. And so my guess was probably 2 years old at the time. Hi, I'm James Lott Jr. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad I have a great show for you guys. I'm so happy to be here. It is Monday, the 23rd of April. Just May is almost here. I can't believe it. You can follow us on Facebook at Breaking Into. You can follow us on YouTube and iTunes, Black Hollywood Live Breaking Into. Go there and you can watch all these shows. I've done 108 shows I think at this point doing those. I want to dedicate this episode to my Grand Susie, who passed away 8 months ago. Tomorrow would have been her birthday. And usually I spend every birthday with her every year, so it's very tough for me. I'm happy to be here with you, with my guest, and I live in gratitude that I can do that. And I live in gratitude that I actually had all those years with her to spend those birthdays with her. But I know she's watching me. I know she's out there. Hey, Grand Susie, I know she's watching me. But I miss her every single day, like seriously every single day. We used to talk all the time. And she got to see me on TV before she died. So I'm very grateful and thankful for that also. But shout out to her because she's one of my, my ancestry that did things that I didn't have to. Like that. My guest today. Okay, so this young man totally got my attention. And I believe in starting from center. I believe in coming from center in everything that I do. And this gentleman, I believe, believes the same thing. I'm putting on my life coaching hat right now because we're going to have some fun talking about stuff like this. My guest believes in meditation and changing mindset. I totally believe that also. He's a young man I believe is called to serve others in self-care. Clinical therapist, now wellness coach. And he's the wellness coach of his whole movement called Feel Free to Feel Free. That's why I said that earlier. DatYogaDude, James Woods. There you go. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Good. Great first name.
Yes, I agree.
It's funny because, I believe in language and everything, and James is a strong name. I mean, regardless if we had it or not, it is a strong name.
Yeah.
That we have. And it's also your name, James Woods, which just makes me laugh because there's an actor, of course.
An actor.
We
look alike.
Because it's just the hair. It's the hair. I'm sure it's there. Have you ever gotten, because your name, have people ever thought you were him at all at first?
People always bring it up and always just say the same thing. Oh yeah, that's my dad. Don't we look alike? That's the good. But my dad, of course, he gave me that name because of his brother passed. My uncle was named James, so James means a lot to me as well.
I love that. I love hearing that story. That's so great. Okay, so DatYogaDude. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? See how I did that?
DatYogaDude really came from me hearing it. Working with youth. Working with youth, working with teenagers, and they would forget my name, of course, and they would just call me, hey, DatYogaDude. So working with people in my community and just teenagers and people who couldn't remember who I was, but they remember I did yoga, so it was DatYogaDude, and it fit.
That is hilarious, actually. I like that. You took something that, you made into something of your, made into a branding thing. You used something that people were like, that guy, DatYogaDude. Okay, got it.
It worked. It fit.
That totally makes sense. Do people call you more DatYogaDude or James these days?
It depends on where I'm at.
Yes, sure.
But, when I'm doing yoga, most people call me DatYogaDude, and most people get a nice little laugh out of it too. So I enjoy it.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. So please explain to people who may not know this, what is a wellness coach / teacher?
A wellness coach / teacher is a guide. Is a person that helps someone to really discover their own personal wellness practices. And we do that through introducing different services, different products, different practices, and helping someone to build a lifestyle of wellness. So as your coach, I'm on the field with you. I'm sharing with you the tips and tools that I have within me to help me on my journey of wellness, and I'm giving them to you every step of the way so you can find out what works for you. So we go through daily process even of, hey, this works, this doesn't work. I don't feel comfortable with that. I do feel comfortable with that. But the end result and goal of it is to have a practice of wellness.
I have found being a coach that we really have to be present with our clients.
Yes.
So, and you too, especially, I'm sure, especially when it comes to wellness. You gotta really be. You have to clear. How do you clear? Do you practice what you preach? You clear your thoughts and be present for your clients.
I practice what I preach. I have to. I do yoga every day. I do meditation every day. And I have a good group of friends, my friends that invited me on the show.
Okay, so former guest Mike Brown and Alpha were on here.
Shout out Ive.
Yeah, so they were on here, so you know who they were, of course. So yes, it's all related.
As you said before, coming back to center, helping me to come back to center, because a lot of times as a coach or as someone in a position of leadership or even teaching in someone's life, my ego can go out of control a little bit and kind of get away from me. So being able to have a circle of people who are close and can tell me, hey, you need some wellness practice yourself. It can be hard to hear at times, but it's definitely important to be a coach. I have to have coaches.
I'm glad you said that. That's something that we believe, especially in the coaching community and even organizers too. We have to have people that actually can help us too. You know what I mean? Like it's completely it's like there's like therapists have a therapist. So it's just one of those healthy things. It's nothing bad. Like you're a bad person to have it, but like no, it's a healthy thing.
Right. Just because I'm a coach doesn't mean I'm not a person.
Right.
Still, it's part of the process.
I like that. Very good. That's very good. When did you? Okay, for a while, let's start first with the yoga.
Okay.
When did you get into yoga? When did you hit you the bug?
The yoga bug hit me really hard after a breakup. After I got dumped.
Oh, hey, there you go. Okay.
That happens.
Yes.
So I started yoga when I was working in clinical world and working with kids and families as a mentor and therapist. One of my supervisors, she's a wonderful lady, Kim. Shout out to Kim. She told me, and she was hey, yoga is cool, work, the relaxed yoga teacher. She told me about yoga. I was always into sports, always athletic. I thought it was another way to work out and just feel good about my body. She sent me to a class, told me about the class. I went, and the old ladies in the class just kicked my butt.
I'm sure.
They was not playing. And so I kind of was like, all right, it's a good workout, good exercise. But then I met another lady who was a clinician, and she showed me more about the meditative practices and more of the in-tune practices. And as I said, I got dumped, and it was hard for me to meditate. And that kind of became a challenge for me of, okay, I need to sit here, I need to go through this. I wasn't really cognizant of what was going on at that time. Looking at it, I can back out to say that, but that really got me into it and got me going on a regular practice, because after the yoga, after meditation, and even during, I felt a lot better. So I really stuck with it then, and that was probably about 7-8 years ago.
Wow, that's a long time. How old are you?
31. I'll be 32 this year.
I tell you, I can say this on this network. Black don't crack. I would swear you're like in your early 20s or something. I'm like, wow, okay. You've been around a little bit, Dan. You've been around a little bit. Okay. I'm like, wow. Every time I do this show, I'm just like, wow, folks be looking good for their age. But that's interesting that you were seeking something out from a sad situation. You were seeking something out, and it was brought to you. I always feel like things are, called to you.
Yes.
What are the couple things about yoga that you just really find are the best things about it that work for you?
Best things about it are me being able to be present, as you said earlier. I'm present with my body, I'm present with my mind, and being able to take a break from the day and just breathe and allow myself to have that space. Also, it's cheap, and I can do it pretty much anywhere. Sometimes I have a mat, sometimes I don't. I can just kind of get there, and it takes me there pretty instantly. A couple of breaths, a couple of stretches, and it takes me there. It brings me back in. It reins me in as my mind kind of goes all over the place. So really the convenience of yoga has been very powerful for me, and introducing me to a different world and then to a different me. Really taking time to look at myself. Before it was just run here, run there, do this, do that. But yoga helps me to really take a look at myself, go through my thoughts, go through my feelings, and do it in a way where it's not as scary as other things. Sometimes therapy can be scary and can be intense. Sometimes facing myself can be very intense. But when I'm in the comfort of my own body and the comfort of my own breath, it really helps me to get through the emotions, the thoughts, and the feelings that I'm encountering at that time.
I did yoga for a year.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, and I loved it.
Okay.
I set up on my study. I should do it. I should get back into it again. I just recently got back into my own health, my own wellness recently, because for health reasons. But I did it. I took it once years ago. It's just too hard. Oh my God. I sound good. But anyway, when I did it for a year, I found two real good instructors. Who really showed me, and I did hatha yoga, and I did vinyasa, and I did do a couple of times restorative because I have heart issues, so we're doing stuff for the heart. But just what I saw from yoga for me, number one, I had to get a thicker mat. I have flat feet.
Okay. Yeah.
And I learned, because I had back issues before, you don't really use your back for anything. Not really. I mean, a lot of pressures in other areas of your body. So my back was never hurting. Other areas were hurting. But I found it was good for my back. So even with back problems, there's certain yogas that for me, they're actually really good for my back.
Right.
I have flat feet. So my instructor told me that if I did it long enough, I'd have an arch in my foot.
Yeah. Yoga does have a lot of physical principles that help you restore your body, as you said. Hatha yoga, vinyasa yoga, it helps to build strength in the muscles around the spine and the muscles in the back. And more so than giving you an arch, your body gets used to it. Your body gets used to having that pressure of you standing on it. And your body gets used to the feet bending in different positions and stretching. You're really opening your body up. A lot of times we sit in chairs all day, we sit in cars, we sit at desks, we sit on couches. Body is constricting, so that yoga helps to open it back up and use it as its purpose, is what it was supposed to be: move, be vital, be energetic. So
I was a sweater too. I was sweating. And I'm like,
out.
I sweat easily anyway, because I used to take dance lessons, ballroom dance lessons, and I used to be like, Jay, you be sweating it out. You're getting the moves down. I'm ready. I can pretty much pick up things, but I was just like, I had to make a giant towel. But what I also liked about yoga, or the types that I did, was how presentational it was. Awesome. There was a lot of, because there's different names, like down. You always hear about down facing dog. There's a whole bunch of other names for things, poses, and it was very much like you're reaching out to the sun. You're presenting something like there's always, you would say these things, these phrases. That was, and the music was really soft, and it was like kind of dim in the room, and I really enjoyed it.
It's very expressive. You can allow yourself to be in different forms, physically and mentally. And especially being in that relaxed state with the music, with the breathing, with the warmth of the room, it's just a total experience of expression that you get to join with other people in the room.
Yeah, no, it's great. It was great. I mean, I should do it again. I still have all the stuff. I should do it again. But I had to get a thicker mat, because my mat was a little. They're by millimeters or something. I was like, I had to find one that was like a little thicker for me.
Yeah, gotta be comfortable.
And it was way better. But I had the blocks. I did it for a full year, and I did see a difference, like you said, in your core strength. Because you look at it thinking, okay, I'm just stretching this way and this way and this way. But like, there are things that do develop. It's a different kind of workout than using weights or cardio.
Very different. And like you said before, going back to center. Everything comes from here. The strength comes from here. So just like when we doing too much over here, when we come back to center, we rebuild that strength and we can move forward. Same principles with yoga.
I like that. Let's show, this is a quick clip of just one of the things he does. Let's show this.
Shout out to Mike for the song.
Yes, Mike. What's funny, you have all these people in there. Look, a lot of people in this one. Chair thing. I love it. It's like you can do it anywhere.
You can do it anywhere.
Okay, that's right. That song is good. I don't think that song's good. Someone else who wants you to feel free is our leader, person who helped create this network so that we can actually have guests like DatYogaDude on here. Maria Menounos, yes, that's right. You want to learn, you want a fun way of learning and growing? She has a show. It's a podcast called Conversations with Maria Menounos, Podcast Edition. It's every Friday. It's on iTunes. Conversations with Maria features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life. It's a really good show. From health and wellness to career, relationships, finance, and more. For some of you, Maria's the big sister. For me, she's a little sister. I'm a little older than she is. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria for free. It's all free, so we're talking about free stuff. It's good. Be sure to rate and comment. And when you do, because I do know Maria Menounos, I do know her personally, let her know that James Lott Jr. Breaking Into sent you there. James Lott Jr. Breaking Into. A lot with two T's. Conversations with Maria Menounos, Podcast Edition. Check it out. So looking at that, so you came from a clinical therapist background. So where'd you go to school?
Xavier University of Louisiana.
Hey, Louisiana. Are you from Louisiana?
No, I'm from here.
Oh, okay.
I'm from here, but I went to school at Xavier University of Louisiana. And shout out Beyonce, just donated some money.
Yes, she did. She did. Yes, she did.
HBCUs.
Yes.
Right. And I went there and I studied psychology.
Okay.
And then I came back home to California.
Okay. What was it like going to HBCU, or what was it like going to an all-black college?
It was very black. It was very black.
Right. I mean, like, and I mean, I know you mean that in the most like just like greatest way. That it was just great. You were a majority. You weren't a minority there.
I was a majority, and I got to see the spectrum of black. Being here, I'm from the Inland Empire, out in Corona, where
the IE.
The IE.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's I was a lot of times I was one of few in classes, and a lot of times I didn't get to see the diversity within our own black community. So I go to Xavier and I see, we have black nerds, we have black rockers, we have black doctors, we have black this, we have black that. So I saw that our culture was along the spectrum just as well as any other culture, and it was beautiful to see. It changed my life.
I'm actually glad that you made that distinction because, there are there's not just one type of black person. And everybody, but you're still black. When you look in the mirror, how we're black,
right?
But there's very different. We're very diverse in what we like, how we speak, what we're into, what we're not into. And I'm glad. I wish more people would see that. Even our own community, I wish we'd see that more. Right. We all think, well, if you're not a certain way, then you're not really black,
right?
Or you're not a certain way, then you're not really down, or whatever. Like, no, there's just different kinds of black people.
And that can be very damaging when you don't feel accepted in your own community because they say, oh, you don't wear it like this, you don't dress. So it was a beautiful thing to see black people just be themselves, be people.
Did you join any groups while you were down there?
No, didn't join the groups. New Orleans, the city is a group itself. There's a lot of partying.
Sure is. I know some. So my family's from Louisiana, so I do know all about. I have family went to Xavier, I have family went to Tulane, I have family did all that stuff. So I know that whole my father's side of the family.
What part of Louisiana?
So my father is from Shreveport.
Okay, my grandfather.
So Shreveport, Alexandria. My grandmother's of course from the Cane. She's Creole from the Cane River, you know, from up there, and from Cluterville. Shout out to Cluterville. But I have many families. My family obviously migrated down to New Orleans.
Okay.
Like I said, half went to Xavier, half went to Tulane, and they all kind of went around and did stuff down there. And then many of them moved here to LA. There's a huge Louisiana community here in Los Angeles. I live in it. I live in Inglewood. It's all over there.
Yep.
La Louisiana, shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out.
Harold and Bells, all these places I love.
Yeah.
But no, but I decided I went to a college that was mostly white. So I grew up with black people, so I grew up with blacks. But I always imagined going to an all black college or mostly black college. It just would feel. I imagine it feeling like when I go to the Caribbean, where everyone's brown. Like it just like everybody is.
It felt like Wakanda. It really did.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like first I know for you, I was overwhelmed a little bit. Like, wow, I'm sure you were overwhelmed. Like, there's so much blackness here.
There's a lot of blackness.
I love it. What do you think it's done for you since then? Going to all black college. What do you think some of the benefits have been for you now in just regular life?
It really helped me to identify who I was as a person.
Okay.
Like I said, identifying that my black is my black, but it's still black. And it really helped me connect with the black community and connect more with black people who were, for lack of a better term, conscious and I don't like the term, but black people who are interested.
Who are woke.
Woke, yeah. Black people were interested in themselves for being themselves, not trying to be anything else, but just genuinely trying to figure out who they were. It sent me on that journey and experiencing that, and it was a beautiful thing, and really taking me out of my home, out of California, bringing me to a whole different state, a whole different culture, and a world within itself. Really helped me discover who I am, things I like, things I didn't like, and that still is a part of me today. So
I admire people, and I will include my engineer producer friend Marissa, who's doing this, who leave their home and go somewhere else. Because I left home, but I was in another part of California. You know, I came back. I mean, like it still counts on some level. But you guys like left the States and went somewhere else, and like and have a whole different experience.
Right.
I think people should try that sometimes. If that's within you, you should try that. I'm sure you learn all kinds of stuff.
I have two sisters, and my oldest sister went to Spelman, my youngest went to Clark. So we all left and got that experience.
Did your families, your father, mother, or grandparents, right? Did they encourage you to go to an all-black college, or was it just an option for you? You wanted to go?
Xavier was the only school to accept me.
Oh, really? There you go, kids.
In other black schools.
Yes, alrighty, there you go.
So
That's
it's
easy.
like, okay. Didn't really know much about it beforehand, but my mom just was adamant of, hey, you going to some school, and these are the schools that's going to take you. And HBCU is a black school, so shows a lot of love to black males because they know we need that support.
We do.
Black women too, but they know we need a special kind of support, and I received that at Xavier.
There is, black people in general, we need it, of course, but there is a difference between how black women and black men are treated.
Very much so.
There is, and both sometimes it's horrible, but black men especially, we, on our end, because we're black men, we can't speak as black women, but as black men, I know it's hard sometimes. How we walk through life, how we leave our home, how we walk down the street, how we drive in a car, how we choose to have our hair.
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, my head. Okay, I'm shaving my head in a couple of days. I'm doing the daytime Emmys. I'm just waiting for that because my hair grows so fast that I'm waiting to do it right before the awards show. I'm gonna trim everything up, and so that's why I look like this. But normally my head is shaved with a goatee.
Okay.
I'm a big guy. There's a whole black thing. I mean, I've been stopped by cops. The whole thing about that. Now you have the twisties, which I wanted to do years ago. It's one hairstyle I never did.
Yeah.
I've done every other hairstyle on earth. I'm sure you get judged on that sometimes, don't you?
I do, and outwardly mostly probably by black people.
Oh, really?
I would say older black people or black people who have a different understanding of like, what are you doing with your hair? Kinda,
interesting.
Get a cut. Because it is that mindset of we have to look a certain way, we have to be a certain way outwardly. So this can be uncomfortable for some people, especially black people. White people and other people usually enjoy it when to touch it.
You want to touch it? Like, don't be touching our hair. Don't tell you want to touch it. Leave it alone. But yes.
So it's interesting.
That's very, well, I am an older black person on some level for you. I understand, when I was growing up, my father, because he's older than us, they want to conform on some level. So just so they can make, it was really sad to conform just to make it kind of like white folks. Like not even full, everything, but just like at least to even get considered. So you talk a certain way, you walk a certain way, look a certain way. And it did work for some people. My father got very far. It did work for some people, but I guess that mindset's still there.
It is still there, and it was out of safety a lot of times too. This is how I wear my hair naturally can be a threat. Is dangerous or just doesn't look professional. Doesn't look this and doesn't look that. So. It can be controversial for some people.
It's dirty,
It is.
And that's serious. That's real. I mean, I heard people say it. I'm like, come on, no, it's not. Right. It's hair. It's a hairstyle.
It's a hairstyle. Yeah.
Right. It just made it look like the way. So I used to have long hair, so I've had everything, and I mean, people were just like, "But that doesn't look so clean," or that's. I'm like, I wash my hair. My hair's fine. Like I wash my hair. Trust me.
Yeah.
Or there's ways just to. And by that's the issue with black people, but I can see why older black folks just kind of like play it safe. You want to but I feel like we shouldn't play it safe anymore. We should try to help change the minds of people.
Right.
That what you have, what I have, how we look should be okay.
Right. Accept me for who I am.
Right.
Accept me for who I am.
I am not coloring my goatee. It's going to stay gray for the rest of my natural life.
I love that. Yeah.
People try to tell me that. Use some just for men. Screw just for men. I'm going to have my hair the way I want it. Thank you. I don't think I'm like, thank you. I'm not. I think it looks good. But I'm gonna shave it down a little bit just because it is. Now, this is something that I actually was, because we're on Black Hollywood Live, black folks in yoga. Because when I first started doing yoga, we were like, black people do yoga? I'm like, it's not a color thing. It's a practice. It's meditation. But I was like, meditation? Right. Go to church and you talk to your pastor and everything works out. Right. But I was like, but meditation could mean you talk to God too. Like you can, prayer is meditation. I mean, can you kind of speak on that a little bit? So black folks should be doing yoga, shouldn't they?
They should.
Bring their heart rate down.
As you said, they say prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening to Him. Really having some time, some space with yourself. And especially black people getting more comfortable, more familiar with owning our bodies. A lot of times our bodies have been portrayed for this and for that. And we don't own our bodies mentally or physically. So doing the practice of yoga to help you get back into your body has been a very liberating practice for us, and I think we all need some more liberation as we go. And the medical benefits, we have heart disease, we have diabetes, high blood pressure, we have those diseases, and a lot of times we don't move. So being able to have a practice that's easier on the joints, easier on the legs, and still can build muscle and help with circulation is a powerful practice for us. And once again, like I said, it's cheap. You can go to a studio, and those can get expensive, but you can roll your mat out right at home in your living room and do some yoga right next to the furniture you can't touch or sit on in that special room. So it's important to have a practice that's easy and convenient for us that we can easily access. And it's the breathing as well. When we're on that job or when we're facing some adversity, we're getting pulled over, if we could do some breathing and have the ability to relax and understand our posture and where our mindset is, it can protect us. It can keep us safe as we calm down and relax and lower that pressure and really come from a centered place of peace through our practice.
I meditate in my yard. Ooh, I have I've been building this beautiful garden. I was huge. I thank the universe every day. That I have a huge yard, front and backyard, that I've been creating over the last 5 years. Just I've always bougainvillea on one side, I got fruit trees over here, and geraniums and loquat, everything growing around me, and so so the agriculture part of me stayed with me. I have a green thumb. In my house, I have a lot of plants in my house. I live in the jungle. But I found there were times when I go on my front porch, because now I'm secluded. I have this huge yard, but then I have this front porch. I love having a front porch. And it's covered in flowers and plants. And there are bees going around and birds flying over and hummingbirds coming by. Wow. And I felt I could just sit down. And plus I live near where the water's not far away. It's not super hot down in Inglewood. It's okay. I can sit outside, and I just sit there, and I'll close my eyes. Or I'll sit there and I'll stare to the blue sky, and I'll stare. And I'll start just kind of thinking about things, kind of just relaxing and kind of, and I mean thinking things, not thinking about like what I'm going to do tomorrow, what's next. I clear that out. And I just sit there, and so it's just with my thoughts. But what are your thoughts on people who are scared with their own thoughts? So it may hinder them from doing yoga. I mean, like some people are like, well, I don't want to think about anything. There must be. I mean, I would think that yoga would still be really good for them if they just would unlock that.
Definitely, and especially people who faced a lot of trauma. Yeah. Don't want to re-experience it and the feelings and things that they go through. Being able to have a practice where they can at least approach it. Yeah. Like I said, meditation doesn't have to be just sitting there and zen, legs crossed. You can put on a song. You can put on a song from Motown, and it's going to bring some things up. It's going to trigger some things. But if you're able to sit through that whole Marvin Gaye song or whatever and breathe through it and just kind of experience just the feelings, the raw feelings that come up, it's only going to last a couple of minutes, and you made it. And then next time a longer song, or whatever practice. Like you said, it's beautiful. You sitting in your paradise garden, sitting somewhere and having that quiet time and just kind of knocking on the door of those feelings.
I need it. For me, I need it. I personally, because I do all this for a living, I'm a very outgoing person, very extroverted, as you can tell. And I have a big family and all that stuff, but I feel like there's times I have to just be quiet. And people don't believe me. Like, no, trust me, I can shut up really easily. I have no problem being quiet. And I'm a homebody by extension. I like being at home. I like my home. Right. And so I like to just kind of be amongst my stuff. And the other day I sat outside, I think I fell asleep for like 20 minutes on my front porch. No covered, so there's no sun damage. I was covered. But like the sun was out, and like I woke up, had to pull some loquats off the tree, ate them.
Wow.
And like and I literally saw hummingbirds flying by. And like, okay, this is kind of, and so you get a warm feeling.
You do.
You do. You really feel, I feel it in here. I feel warm inside. And I'm like, I don't want this to end.
Right.
Like for a moment, I do forget everything else that's out there. It took me a while to get there, though, but yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, doing that practice and having a safe space to do it in. Having a safe space is very important. I don't care if it's in the bathroom, in the closet, right before you get in the shower, cut the steam on, and just let the water run over you. Just having a safe space to be there and let that warm feeling, as you said, come up is a part of meditation.
I'm a bath person. I take baths. And thank you to my mother, Benita, who built a bathtub that's 6 feet long.
Wow.
So I can actually lay in that thing.
Nice.
Because bath thing that ain't that long. Bathtubs ain't that long. Unless you go like Vegas or whatever. You get like those giant tubs.
Yeah.
Which I do take those too when I'm there. Yeah. But I have a giant bathtub, and I'm so glad I can lay in it fully. I'm like, oh, I love it. I have bath salts in there. And or I'll put some, I'll just put Epsom salt in there, and I just will soak and relax. I have candles. And
that's real.
And you mentioned Marvin Gaye. I'm a big Marvin Gaye 70s person. I love his 70s outputs.
Awesome.
Even though it's very, what's the word? It's very, like Mercy Me, the Ecology, I Want You, Got to Give It Up, you know, other than what's going on. They're very, very political.
Right.
But I still get a strong feeling when I'm listening to his music. I love it. We're gonna play part of a song with our buddy Mike Brown that you do some stuff in it. So it's called Monday. Today's Monday.
Yeah. Happy Monday.
Love you.
That's you, isn't it?
If you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself say it. I love you. I love all of you. The doubts, the insecurities, your so-called faults. Meditating lets you hear the real voice. The voice that tells you, I love you. Despite not knowing what you want to do in life. Despite feeling like you're going to fail. Despite feeling like you're going to fail. Despite being scared. Meditation cuts through all of that to find you. The strong. The brave. The beautiful. The amazing you.
I like that. You can hear the rest of the song on Mike Brown's SoundCloud page, actually. He has one there, just Mike Brown. But I love that. It's the kind of music that I do, kind of.
Okay.
So it's kind of, I like that, where it's just like, I can hear you breathe in it. So it's like, that's very much your branding. It's like, it's you.
Right.
Okay, so we know, so Mike, we know he's been on the show before. He's one of your best friends, correct? How'd you guys meet?
Through college. We lived in the same dorm building. And I went into his room one time, and we were watching like Boys in the Hood. It was like all of us together.
It was real black then. You're like really black. I'm like, okay, kids.
It was real black.
Yes.
And we just was cool since then. Yeah.
Because he's a musician, he does music. He's a teacher himself. He's a teacher, but also he does music and stuff. We play some of his stuff on here. Would you like to do more of that kind of stuff? Would you like to do more of that?
Yes. We did some more stuff from earlier, and we're gonna come back and do some more. It feels good to do it, and I love his music, so definitely can't wait to do more with Mike.
I think we should do something too.
I would be honored.
I think we should do something. I think I love collaborations, and I think we could come up with something.
Okay.
Have some good producers.
Love it.
So we'll keep that in mind. So that because I did like that. And you should. It's a good thing you can play that anywhere, and just kind of. I love that. Young people, why should they do yoga?
Because they face a lot. They face a lot right now. It's a lot of social pressures. It's a lot of media. It is a lot of confused parents and confused adults on how to raise young people. So young people having the tools to deal with that themselves is going to be something that's going to have a huge impact in our society moving forward in general. So for them to be able to relax and identify their own center and have tools to de-stress and calm themselves down, because a lot of times they can't rely on adults anymore, is a powerful tool for our next generation coming up.
That's true. I mean, everything. See, the basis of this whole thing for me, this episode, it's all about mindset. Getting into a good mindset.
Getting in a good mindset.
And this is a way to do that.
Right.
It's yoga and meditation. This is a way to get. I mean, also we just named some of the benefits like good health, strong core. Except for black folks, because my audience is black. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, like this is good stuff to help bring it. Poor circulation.
Right.
Because people don't understand me, like poor circulation alone, that can cause so many problems.
Can.
Like so many medical problems.
Yeah. They say being sedentary, sitting down, your circulation messing up is as dangerous as cigarette smoking today.
I believe it.
So for young people, like you said, to have that mindset of, despite the chaos and calamity going on around me, I know how to center myself, I know how to calm myself and move through the storm, is one of the best tools that I wish I had as a young person.
I know. I mean, it's funny because when I came up, we weren't talking about yoga or anything when I was coming up in the 80s. I know yoga started kind of getting a notice in the 90s around there because New Age kind of came out. And so that was like, I remember that whole New Age stuff. I used to listen to all the New Age music. I was going through that phase for a while. And I remember that's when meditation started getting kind of, like, practice has been around for thousands of years. That suddenly it got like attention. I remember, and I mean, you were young, actually very young. But all of a sudden, the Gregorian chants albums were coming out. A group called Enigma came out, and they were really big in the whole dance. Actually, pop arena. You guys who know my age, Enigma. They had a bunch of hits. The one that was called The Age of Innocence was the name of the album or song. It was a huge crossover hit. Then all of a sudden, chanting was big. And all these chanting albums, I fell all into it too. Like chanting, I'm all in chanting, set to music. And so people started talking about meditation. Everybody started getting into that practice. And it was like, yes, everybody's so busy to slow down.
Right.
To slow the F down.
Right.
Slow down. And so I see it's continued through. People are still talking about it. And now you got what yoga works all over Los Angeles. They're everywhere.
Yeah, it's all over. But still, black people a lot of times are one of the late adopters of it.
Yes.
And you spoke of chanting. Whenever I say I do meditation, sometimes black people are like, "Oh, like Tina Turner."
Tina Turner, that's right. Oh my God, she's a famous one.
You
can't go. Yes, the whole Buddhism thing.
Right.
Yes.
So black people are still getting, especially like I said, older black people, and black people just who are not familiar with it are getting a chance to get familiar with it and then take out what they need from it, because it's a practice and you get what you need from it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Now you had an event recently with Mike Brown, his event, and other people. You do these kind of events where it's like yoga and music, or so. Can you explain some of that? What's going on there?
Right. So we're doing our second annual this year. It is called Million Man Meditation, and we have yoga and Tai Chi and martial arts and clinical therapists, and they're all black males, and they're talking about these practices. And we have also all black male performers of hip hop, singing, and just empowering and lifting music and information. And we really are focusing on having black males understand that these practices don't have to be foreign. They don't have to be outside of what it means to be a black man. So we want to share black men doing these practices with other people in the community. It's open to all, but we really want to let black people know, hey, you can do this too, because we're doing it already. And it's it's a great event. It's good food, good music, good information, and just a good vibe to it. So we're doing that, our second one, October the 13th in Inland Empire out in Riverside.
Okay, now you lost me. I live in Los Angeles.
Right.
Inland Empire.
Yeah.
Inland in the 909.
Yeah.
Or 951.
951.
Whatever it is nowadays out there. No.
But people come out for Coachella.
Yeah.
So
They do for BHL, you mean?
yeah, Beychella.
It's not Coachella anymore, it's Beychella. No, that's I'm being funny, but no, that's good. That's great, actually. That's so much fun. That's a great. I love hearing inventive things like that. Like, especially us black men, we have to lift each other up. That's just one of my sayings. We have to lift each other up, because a lot of people, nobody else really will do that.
Right.
We kind of have to do it ourselves.
We do.
And I think it's a great event. You said you have artists of all kinds there, but mostly all black male performers.
All black male performers.
Very good.
All black male performers. So we have workshops. You said an artist, from visual art to live performing art, and it feels good. It's a beautiful park.
So you're inspiring me, because I do like I said, I'm an organizer, life coach. TV personality, where I do spoken word. Also, I'm trying to put together some events like that. So you're inspiration for me to kind of keep moving there, to keep doing it. Because I want to put events out too with people of color and like just showing how diverse we are also. Just kind of getting it out there and just having our art out there. Because there are a few things that are going on that are very cliquish in Los Angeles. People have the little groups. If you're not in the group, it's like it's hard to get seen. So I feel like you create what you don't see, create what you want to see. And that's what you're doing. You're creating what you want to see.
Right.
I feel.
I would love to attend your event.
Thank you. I like that. Maybe I'll come out to the IE. I don't know.
You're invited.
Thank
Please
you.
come
Thank
out.
you. No, it sounds amazing. What else do you have on the horizon that you? I always say speak things into existence. What are some things you would love to have happen in the future for you?
Taking Million Man Meditation on a national tour.
Great idea.
We really want to stop in cities where we know African Americans, Black folks are. And really,
Atlanta, Chicago, Baltimore, Louisiana, down there. All over the place.
we definitely got to come to LA.
Yes.
And do these events there. Really just come into the community and work with local communities, providers of these arts and these practices that are already there. Because we doing them, it's just not a lot of attention are being shined on them. So in the horizon is a national tour, working with that. I love public speaking. I do public speaking and training. The video there was a training that I do for people who work with, I was for a school district, but coming up in the nonprofit sector, a lot of therapists, a lot of social workers, a lot of teachers provide so much service to others, they don't provide a service to themselves. So we do a self-care and a wellness training for the adults who provide services and the service providers. So continuing and doing that and moving throughout the city, the state, the country, but we're speaking and spreading the feel free message. And working with Mike to do some more of the music, and also doing more yoga videos, full videos. We're going online and doing some video series and we want to really be specific and cover topics that are relatable to us, like yoga for bad nerves, yoga for high stress, yoga for police encounters. Doing yoga that's specific to encounters that have affected me and affected the people I love and care about. So putting out videos, putting out audio, and making these events happen for everyone.
Build his empire. That's right. His yoga empire. I know. I'm all for that. I mean, I think I started from scratch. So I mean, you guys start from somewhere, and I'm taking my organizing message out to everybody. And I think that you could do the same thing with the yoga and get it out to everybody. And just, I'm so excited for you because the possibilities are just right in front of you.
Thank you.
And it's just like, and I will promote everything you have. I'll promote everything.
I also have a children's book.
See, I love it. Okay, my kind of man. That's right. Please tell us about it.
So we have a children's book called Timmy Tut, and you can find it at PrinceTimmyTut.com. It is a young Black boy, and he is going through some situations in his life, in his community, in his family, and his school. And he has an uncle who brings him this magical gift, and it sends him back to Egypt. And he learns that he's this Egyptian prince, Timmy Tut.
Tut, that makes sense. Okay.
And in Egypt, he learns the breathing, he learns the meditation, he learns the yoga, and he brings it back to modern times and shares it with his family, shares it with the community. And it's a great story. It's a great adventure. My co-author and illustrator, DeVille Jackson, it is amazing. It's a beautiful book. It looks amazing.
Okay, where can we find this again?
PrinceTimmyTut.com. www.PrinceTimmyTut.com.
Okay. Get me a copy. I think it's very cool.
Yeah.
So see, that's good. See.
Thank you.
Get that message out there, folks. I tell you, and I love the inventiveness of that story. That's so unique. It's like you don't hear. I mean, usually part of your history, and I love that whole part. I mean, my whole thing is everybody who knows me, I'm all about the village. We come from a village mentality in Africa. That's where we come from.
Yes.
We lose it when we came to America for many different reasons. That's a whole other show. But we need to get back to that again. Other races do it. We need to get back to it too.
Right.
Where we're taking some part of our past, our elders, bringing it to our future, and the young ones. And I think your book sounds like it does that.
Yeah. That's the whole basis of it, of building our youth through our elders. So.
Hello, that's how it should be, in my opinion, of course. Okay, so I ask my guests the same two questions.
Okay.
I don't prep them. You know, I don't prep them unless they watch the show and remember that I ask the same two questions to everybody. Mike had to answer too, of course. I believe in language. I'm a big language person. So obviously, I'm a writer and everything. I do language. What word do you think we should not say anymore in the English language? Like, what comes to mind for you first?
I want to say woke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone else said that recently. It's so funny. I
Yeah.
said that recently on my show. So people are not people. So I guess that word's out now.
Yeah, even the word conscious and woke, just I don't know, replace it with something else. But I'm done with that.
I wonder where we could replace with conscious, because I've used that a couple times too. I do conscious dance music. But I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to think what word. I kind of see now where you guys are all coming from. Like, what kind of word we use doesn't sound as kind of pretentious. Like, it's just like, or like it's a fad, like conscious woke. Like, I guess we got to figure that out. What kind of word do you replace that with?
Yeah, because it can be separating sometimes.
Yeah.
We're conscious and they're unconscious and they're not woke. And like you said, going back to the village mentality, we're all in this together. So we do have to find something to describe the type of life.
I mean, there are some village idiots out there. That's another story. We should help them too, of course. just saying. And then what word or phrase, I've opened up to a phrase because it's a positive thing. What word or phrase do you think we should say more of?
Feel free to feel free.
I love it. My guest, that yoga dude, James Woods. Okay, now tell people in that camera where they can find you on social media or online.
You can find me, DatYogaDude, DatYogaDude, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I really don't do Twitter too much. You can see
I tagged you on there. You didn't do nothing. You're on Twitter. He's on Twitter. He's on there.
Yeah. Email me, DatYogaDude@gmail. Website is DatYogaDude.com. feelfree.net. I'm on the internet, but I'm not really on the internet, but you can check out some videos.
You do? Yes.
I do a video every day. It's more for me, and I enjoy people who chime in and connect with it, but That Yoga Dude, I'm there.
He's also, he has a lot of videos on YouTube. He's being modest. He has some videos on YouTube. One where you look really young. You had no hair, and you were really young, but you were saying some really great stuff. There's some videos out there of some interviews you've done on YouTube. Just look on YouTube, look at yourself. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. And I Googled myself recently. I was like, oh, that's what's going on. I never really do that. So I'm like, you'd be surprised what's on there, That Yoga Dude. I'm James Lott Jr. Of course, you can follow me where all James Lott Juniors are at James Lott Jr. Breaking Into is on Facebook. I will be posting more of his information on that page. I posted some stuff on there already, but I'll be posting more on this page. This episode will be on that page too. You can also go to iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube to either listen to this episode or watch it on YouTube. If you go to iTunes or SoundCloud, you can meditate to our voices. How's that? And go ahead and rate and subscribe and comment. Tell me if you like him, like me, give us 5 stars. Tell us what you think. If you have some suggestions for guests for me, let me know. Maybe I'll see when we get them on the show. Next week, I actually have Todd Bridges. Wow. I have a big head. I'm so excited that he's coming. I can't even believe it myself. He will be here next week. Mr. Todd Bridges and I are going to talk about everything, different strokes, and beyond. Wow. I'm James Lott Jr. I'll see you next time.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us, info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.